Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Vanessa. For today's workout, I'm adding 2-pound ankle weights. But other than that, all you need is your body and the mat. So when you're ready, make your way into a comfortable cross-legged seated position. We'll start here with warming up our spine. So placing the hands on your knees, just start to take those shoulders up and back, connecting into your breath. And then rounding into the spine for seated cat-cow. We exhale, scoop back on the pelvis. Inhale, arching up. Finding your neutral spine, coming into a side bend. Exhale, releasing over to one side. And as you inhale, open up the chest, let the top arm drop back, circling through the wrist. Exhale, stack the shoulders. And we'll take it up to the other side. Reaching over, pulling out of the hips, keeping the neck nice and long. Again, open up the chest, let the top hand drop back and give the wrist a few circles. And then as we lift back up this time, we'll take it right into our neck stretch. Drawing the ear to shoulder, let the shoulders stay relaxed down. And circling around to the other side, gentle pull on the neck here. And releasing back up, let's make our way into tabletop position on all fours for some cat-cows here. Pulling the chest forward and through. And exhale, scoop it back into your child's pose. So we inhale, float up, tuck the toes, arch the spine. Exhale, curl back. Really starting to deepen the breath. Opening up the front and back body as we flow here. We're gonna take it a little bit further this time, lower all the way down into a push-up. Inhale, lowering down. Exhale, send the hips back. Exhale to lift. And then lowering down this time, we'll come into our nice open spine extension. Tucking the toes, exhale up and back into your downward facing dog. And here we just walk it out. Stretching through the backs of the legs, the ankles, the calves, the toes, the arches. And then find a moment of stillness. Let both heels drive down. Give the head a little shake. Shifting forward, we'll find our plank as we slowly lower into the mat. Untucking the toes, coming back into that spine extension. And we draw back into our down dog. Let's take that again, flowing through. Maybe you find chaturanga, shifting to the tops of the feet, upward facing dog. Exhale, down dog. Stay in the flow of the breath. Inhale, shift forward, plank. Slowly lower, starting to create some heat in the body now. Up dog. Exhale, down dog. Shifting forward now, we're gonna come into a tabletop hover. And just starting with some shoulder taps. And I really want you to think about staying as still as you can, anchoring down through all 10 toes, lifting up and out of the hands, so we're really active through the chest. Now from here, drawing one knee towards your nose, reach back, creating that long line in the body. So exhale, curl and round. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, scoop the belly up, reaching out. Think about keeping the shoulders right over the wrists, and the opposite knee is just hovering off the mat. Last one, we'll reach back into our three-legged dog. And just take a moment here, let this feel good. Open up the hips, maybe you wanna point and flex, circle the ankle. And from here, we're gonna step that top leg through into our lizard lunge. So knee pulls in, stepping to the outside edge of your mat, adding a twist, reaching, looking up towards the sky. Back knee's gonna bend, adding that twist, an option to bend the back knee, grabbing onto the top foot. Breathing into the stretch. As you exhale, bring the hand back down towards the mat. Tuck the back toes, and then make your way back into your downward facing dog. From here, we're gonna take that whole setup again. So coming into your tabletop hover, and we're back into our shoulder taps. Keep the navel drawing up towards the spine. And then we'll extend our opposite leg back. So nose to knee, inhale, reach long. Exhale, curl and round. Inhale, stretch, right? All the way from the tippy toes to the crown of the head. Keeping the opposite knee just hovering off the mat. Last one here. Press back into a three-legged dog. Driving down through the heels of the hands. Allow the hips to open. And again, here, circle through the ankle. Maybe point and flex the foot. Bending the top knee and stepping through. Find your lizard lunge. Adding that twist, reaching up out of the bottom hand. Go ahead and bend your back knee. Allow the knee to come down. Option to grab for that top foot. Keep releasing the hips towards the front of the mat. And as you exhale, bringing the hand back, tuck your back toes, and step back into your downward facing dog. And getting ready here, we're gonna take it into our first standing series, starting with split squats. So stepping your left leg forward, we're gonna drop and bend low into both knees. Chest lifts high, so our shoulders are stacked over our hips, and we just start with some pulses here. So thinking about both knees bending 90 degrees, the back knee is reaching down towards that mat. Staying low, adding a twist, we draw low, twist, and stand. Inhale, lower, exhale, ring it out, coming up. We wanna think about the hips evenly reaching towards the front edge of your mat, anchoring down through the front big toe, and really twisting at your waistline here. Next one, we're gonna hold low, extending long through the arms, through the back leg, adding back taps. So tapping that back foot in. Think of this almost as a standing crunch. We're really leaning and working into that standing glute, staying nice and low through the standing leg, and drawing the abs in towards the spine. Finding your split squat one more time, we're gonna add those curtsy taps. So opening to parallel, cross, get low. Right, again, you wanna think about staying nice and low in that front leg. So really burning out the legs here. Last tap, hold your curtsy and just pulse low here. For 8. Nice job. Let's release that back into our downward facing dog. Shake it out, walk it out. We'll take it right into the other side. So when you're ready, stepping the opposite leg forward, bending into both knees, float that chest up nice and tall. And we start with pulses. Dropping low in the hips, keep the spine lengthened nice and tall. Keep the waistline in strong. Adding the twist. We drop low, rotate, center, and lift. Lowering down again. Keep that back knee nice and bent as we lower the hips. Last one here. We're gonna stay low, extend long through the back leg and arms, tapping in, and reach out. Really anchoring down again through that front foot, leaning into the standing glute. Reaching the body long, feel the sides of the body engage. Getting ready. We have our curtsy taps. Going low, staying low, cross the body. Feel the inner thighs really engage as you cross that back leg over. Chest stays nice and lifted here. Pressing the palms together in front of you. We'll hold that curtsy. Stay low and just pulse it out. For 7, 6, 5, 4, go low, 3, last 2, and we'll make our way back into our downward facing dog. Nice job. Again, take a second, maybe shake the head out a little, yes and no. And when you're ready, we'll just lower all the way down into our child's pose. Take a moment to relax the lower body, relax the chest. Slowly rounding up, we're gonna go right into thigh stretch. Inhaling the arms long, hinging back, keeping the body in a straight line. So right, the torso is planked and we're hinging back, bending the knees to bring the butt closer to the heels. right? So think about your tailbone trying to reach for your heels. Being really mindful not to arch into the low back. We'll add a lift of the arms. Hinging, extend long so the arms are reaching on the same diagonal as the body. Keeping that suspender connection in front so lower ribs are always pulling down towards the hips, shoulders pulling down towards the back. Good, keep it going, breathe into it. We're gonna add alternating arms, holding back, reach and reach. Really flattening through the front of the body. And break. Nice job, come all the way down. All right, let's get ready for our ab series next. So we'll make our way onto our back. Rolling all the way down, float your legs up to tabletop, arms down by your sides. Flexing through the feet. We'll start with single leg stretch, reaching out long through the heels. Keep the tailbone really anchored, right? So you wanna think of this, your pelvis is your anchor point here. The legs move in the hip sockets. Now returning to tabletop, we're gonna add a little combo. So first thing, bring the hands behind the head, and then one hand reaches towards the opposite thigh. As we add the chest lift, the other leg will reach long. So inhale to lower, exhale to reach. You are actively pressing your palm into your thigh and your thigh into your hand to keep your pelvis anchored. The waist stays long and the transverse abdominals are really working here. So when those transverse abdominals are working, your belly should be scooping down, right? Navel in towards the spine, keeping the chest lift, start to lift and lower the leg as straight as you can. Reach the heel towards the ceiling and towards the wall in front of you. Keeping the pelvis again flat against the mat. Now this next one, leg stays low and we start to pulse the upper body up. Don't move the knee. Again, feel the pressure against the thigh. And gently bring everything on back. We'll come back to tabletop and then we'll take it into the other side. Opposite hand comes behind the head. The other palm will press into the opposite thigh. Exhale, curl round up. Inhale, lower back to table. So really coordinating the upper and lower body together. We're trying to keep that tabletop leg in a super strong 90-degree bend. Keep your gaze looking right down towards the toe as you come up, and then we'll lift and lower the leg. Reaching out of the hip here, try to get that leg as long as you can. Last one, leg stays low, add the pulse. Feeling that little twist through the waist. Keep driving the palm into the thigh. Last one here, hug the knees into the chest. Let the head relax all the way down. Rocking the knees a little bit side to side, let the low back relax. And you'll plant the feet flat on the floor. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way overhead as we move into our bridges. Exhale, drive the heels down, lift the hips up as those arms sweep forward. Continuing to lower and lift the hips. Just reach the arms towards the ceiling. So aligning the wrists right over the shoulders as the hips lower down towards the mat. Exhale, drive the hips up, press the palms down. So finding that coordination in the upper and lower body. Next one, we'll hold the hips up high, anchoring down through the shoulders, through the arms. Feel chest expansion as we start to pulse the glutes up and down. Last one here, hold the hips up high and make your way onto your toes. You're gonna walk your feet together, glue your big toes and heels together as we clamshell the leg. So a lot of inner thigh here. Try to zip the entire leg up. Adding a combo, we're gonna add that hip lift back in, opening and closing, lower, lift, open, and close. Keeping the chest relaxed, ribs soft. Heels staying pressed together the entire time. Now we'll just glue those knees in and pulse the hips up. Squeezing the whole leg tight, feeling that whole midline really engaged. And then as you lower down, let's take it right into our hamstring stretch. One leg kicks towards the ceiling. Adding the chest lift, float the opposite leg off the mat as you point and flex the feet a few times. You're gonna keep the feet flexed here and scissor for 8, 7, reaching the heels long, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Grab onto the opposite ankle now. Point and flex the feet, stretching through that hamstring. We'll keep the feet pointed as we go for another set of scissors. Switching the legs for 8. Last 3. We have double leg stretch coming up next. Hold the chest lift, reach for the tops of the ankles. Inhale, lengthen the legs forward, arms back. Exhale, hug the knees back in. We're reaching for as low on the tops of the legs as we can. Elbows pointing wide to the side. Keep the belly drawing down towards the mat. Nose reaching between the knees. And shoulders stay lifted. Now this one we're gonna add a little combo. Scissoring the legs, give one leg a pull, switch. Extend back to your double leg stretch position. Exhale, hugging in. Inhale out. Scissor 1, scissor 2. Find your double leg stretch. Exhale, pull in. 3 more sets. Out. Scissor 1, scissor 2. Legs come together. Exhale, pull in. For 2. Good, keep pulling that chin over the chest so the neck doesn't have to work quite as hard. Zip the legs up. Pulling in, last set here. Inhale, lengthen. Long and strong through the entire body. Beautiful, hugging in. We are right into crisscross. Last push here, stay strong. We have a little combo to finish this off. We're gonna add our half scissor back in. So opposite elbow to knee and then half scissor. Opposite elbow to knee, half scissor. Just 2 more this side. Last one, we'll switch. Bending in, half scissor, other side. Keep rotating through the waist here, not just the shoulders. And final change, we have full scissors with a twist. Reaching up towards that knee, reaching up, reaching up. Good, keep those legs as long as you can. Last one, and relax. Good job. That was a serious ab series. So take a nice big stretch here in the whole body. And we just have one roll up here to reset the body before we move into our side leg series for today's workout. Articulate through that spine, coming back down onto the mat. And then take a moment to set up for our side lying position. Head's coming into the hand. You want to take those legs about 45 degrees in front of the hip, so you're on a slight angle here as we start into our bicycles. Remember, the side body is really lifting up off of the mat, so your ribs are engaged, your lat is engaged to lift the waist and that rib cage up, drawing the shoulder blades back and down so the neck stays long, and we're really working the posture muscles here. Reversing the direction of the bicycle, we sweep back, bending in, and extend long towards the front. Feeling that stretch through the front of the thigh as you kick your heel to your seat. Scoop the abs, knee pulls high to extend forward. Last one, leg will stay long, and we just sweep it forward and back. Flexing through the foot. I like to bring my top hand down here to really help stabilize my shoulders. We don't want the shoulders to rock forward and back. So it's so much ab work here if you're really connected in. Squeezing through the glutes as the leg reaches back. And then reaching the toes right in line with the belly button as we lift and lower.
Yes, my name is Bob.
Think about the heel lifting a little bit higher than the toes. Keep leaning your top hip forward. Breathing, exhale as you lift. And we'll sweep that leg all the way to the back, this time pointing through the toes, Take those little pulses again. Hips are staying stacked. Pinky toe is reaching towards the ceiling. Think you're lengthened toward the back edge of your mat with that top leg. And gently bring the legs back together here, laying all the way down for our side oblique lifts. So incorporating the upper and lower body, legs stay glued together. Press that top hand down into the mat to help balance you. Imagine your ear is connected to your arm as you float everything up off the mat together. Keep drawing the navel back into the spine as well. Last one here, you're gonna hold up. Start to beat those heels in. And then take it into quick little swims, forward and back. Keep reaching. And we'll let everything lower down to the mat. Whew. Okay, good job. We got some inner thighs coming up. You're gonna make your way onto your forearm, right into it. Bottom inner thigh is lifting up off the mat. So strong flex through the foot, as parallel as you can with that bottom leg. Point through the toes for circles, 10 in each direction. 5.
Yes, my name is Bob.
And reverse, back and around. Keep that leg parallel. Try to get the whole thigh up off the mat. Last 4. And releasing all the way back down. Make your way onto your belly for a moment here, extending the arms and legs long. Little lift up in the chest. And then just the legs are gonna alternate lifting. Lengthening out of the hips, right? Keep the glutes engaged and the navel drawing up towards the spine here to protect the low back. You got 2 more, and we're gonna add a little combo. We're gonna add a hamstring kick. So we lift, flex the foot, kick the heel, extend long and lower. Point and lift, flex and bend, extend and point and lower. Keeping that going, we wanna keep the pelvis as level as we can so it's not rocking side to side. Think about the whole thigh lifting up off the mat. Extending long from your fingertips to your toes. Last one here, and then we'll lift up and back into our child's pose. Breathe into the low back, reset. We'll round up and take this work to our other side. So transitioning on the mat, we're starting head and hand. Remember, your legs are 45 degrees in front of you, so we're not in a straight line for this first set. We're starting with bicycles, engage the bottom waistline, float the top leg up as we sweep forward and bend through to the back. Think about anchoring down through that bottom leg so you're really active. Bottom leg is pressing into the mat to help stabilize the rest of the body. Reverse your directions on your bicycle, sweeping back. We're aiming to reach the toe towards the back edge of the mat before we bend in and sweep through. Last one here, and we'll take it into our straight sweeps. Flexing the foot, heel drives back, toes reach towards the nose. Really find that stability in the core, keeping the shoulders and hips stacked. Lengthening out of the waist, drawing the top hip away from the top rib. Holding forward on this next one, toes towards your nose, little pulses, lifting up through the heel. 7, 6, 4. Last one, hold the lift, sweep back, point through your toes. Reaching to the back corner of the mat. You can feel the length through the front of the body here, through the hip, through the thigh, reaching all the way out through the toes. And drawing the legs together, coming all the way down, side oblique lifts, everything floating up off the mat. Anchor down through that top hand. Exhale, squeeze, inhale, lower. Keep those legs zipping together, keeping the shoulders as relaxed as you can, and long neck. Last one, hold the lift, and we start to beat those heels again. Keep reaching long, take it into that quick quick, small swim. And releasing into our inner thigh. Okay, find your forearm. Let's go right into it. Flex foot, little pulses up. And thinking about length as much as lift here. Pointing through the toes, you got 10 circles each direction. Stabilizing the rest of the body so just that bottom leg can move freely. Reverse your direction. Keep lifting up under that bottom rib cage. After those 10 circles, go ahead and lower down. We'll make our way back onto our belly. This time we're gonna do both legs together. Forehead rests on the hands. Exhale to lift, inhale to lower. We're gonna take it back into that combo. Let's add the hamstring curl. So flex the feet, bending the knees, heels touch, extend long, point the toes. Lift, flex, bend, extend, point, and lower. Holding our frog, pulsing the bottoms of the feet up. Think about the thighs lifting up off the mat as the hip bones drive down. Extend the legs long to lower back onto the mat. Pressing back into your child's pose. Breathe into that lower body. We've almost made it. We've got one last series left of work here for our class today. So when you're ready, make your way onto your forearms, finding your forearm plank. Tucking your toes under, we'll start with rocking on both feet, forward and back. Backs of the legs are long. Think the backs of the knees are shining up towards the ceiling. Tailbone is reaching back towards your heels, and you're actively pressing down through the forearms, lifting the chest away from your mat. Now we're gonna take it into single legs. One leg floats up off the mat, rocking forward and back for 5. And then lower and switch to the other leg. Keep the hips in line. Bringing both toes back down towards the mat. We're coming up for commandos. We got 5 reps on each side. Up, up, down, down. Up, up, down, down. You can always modify coming onto the knees. Keep going, find the rhythm, find the flow. Switching sides. For 3, 2. Last one here, you're gonna hold that full plank, show it off, breathe deep. As you exhale, up and back into your downward facing dog. Pedal through the feet, give the head a little shake. You made it, nice job. We're gonna take some time to cool down now. Making our way into our first stretch. Walking your hands towards your feet, find your forward fold. Crossing your front leg over, bending into that front knee, walking away from the leg, lean into your back hip. Taking it to the other side, walking away from the front leg, lean into your back hip. Go ahead and uncross your legs, find your downward facing dog, and we'll take it into our pigeon stretch. Inhaling, reach one leg up and back. As you exhale, pull that knee forward and lowering down into your pigeon pose. Once the hips are anchored, allow the chest to fall over the front thigh. Relaxing here. Everybody's body looks different in this shape, so don't worry about so much what it looks like. We just want to get into a position where we can relax and stretch into those hips. Making our way into a single leg straddle, finding that side bend. Bottom arm is placed in front of the long leg. And now we'll square the hips towards that foot, hinging over, breathing into it. Finding our joy pose, lifting the hips up, reaching from fingertips to toes. And from here, we'll transition into our other side. Both hands come back towards the top edge of the mat. Step back into your downward facing dog. And now the opposite leg will lift up, three-legged dog, big inhale. Exhale, bending the knee, pulling it forward and lowering down into your pigeon pose. Anchoring down through the hips and allow the upper body to fold over the front thigh as much as possible. Letting go of whatever muscles you're holding on to. And then as we roll up, we'll transition into our single leg straddle. Reaching towards that long leg. Feeling the stretch through the side body, through the inner thighs. Inhale, floating back up, pivot to face the leg. Exhale, dive forward. Maybe adding a flex of the foot. Let the head release heavy. Rolling up, anchoring the back hand, finding your joy pose. Opening up the entire front of the body here. And we'll just lower down. And let's finish how we started class today, finding a simple cross-legged position. Anchoring down through the sits bones. Feel that nice, tall, long, strong, energetic body. Inhale the arms up towards the ceiling. Find your prayer pose. And then drawing down in towards your body. Taking a moment of gratitude. Sending loving thoughts, words, and kindness to yourself. Know that you are worthy of all your desires, that you are worthy of happiness. Thank you so much for joining me. Until next time, peace and love.